Back out here at our property, we finally have some dirt moving going on. So this is the one driveway coming in. See, they look like they got it all stripped down a little bit of that topsoil dirt off. Just guessing that this is probably going to have some sand in here and some gravel over the top of it, since this is a really wet area. This is always wet here in this corner. You can see all the water. Looks like they went ahead and ditched this out though. Probably gonna need a culvert under here, I'm guessing, because that's draining out that direction towards that ditch. But yeah, there's just been a ton of work here. I'm gonna kind of walk over here to this side. Looks like they stripped all the topsoil off of pretty much exactly where the house is gonna go. Shoved it back that way a little ways. Jessica and I just got done flagging this, so where the house location is gonna be going. And sounds like they're gonna be back out here on Monday to dig out the location where the house is going to go, and then on Tuesday or Wednesday they're going to go ahead and pour the footing. So finally we are getting some progress here, but it is at no fault to our builder excavating company. We've had nonstop rain about every 3 days since they were going to go ahead and start this project, and you can see the amount of water that's still standing here. So finally we got a break in the weather. We have about a week that we're not going to be getting any rain. So they finally got the go-ahead to start this project. You'll notice there's a little gap between those piles out there. I'm guessing that is the location where they're actually going to run the gravity drain back there towards that ditch. So definitely got my cameras up and they are filming time-lapse, so it should be a pretty cool video seeing all of that. Over here on this side, another large pile of topsoil that they stripped off of here. I'll walk over this way a little bit further too now, and you can see how much more water there is over here. So yeah, they stripped off the topsoil pretty much down to the sand. Our excavating company is Finney Trucking. He's out of Sanford, so definitely doing a great job. Highly recommend him to anyone that's looking at having any excavating done in the area. And our builder is Mark Hammond at Forever Built Homes. I'll leave both of the links to their pages in the description down below. But again, Mark has been great to work with in changing a design to be our perfect custom home. We've definitely enjoyed working with him and really appreciate it, because this is definitely going to be our forever home. Hence his name, his company's name is Forever Built Homes. So definitely cannot wait to see this project get started here and watch our house be built. But now over here on this side, kind of see a little bit more of where those flags are. The driveway is going to be coming in over here on this side as well, where they got the bulldozer. So they went ahead and stripped all of the stumps that were down there in that driveway and shoved those out of the way. And that's looking really nice as well. Again, a lot of water over in here and a little bit of water over here in this ditch as well. But yeah, the pond is going to be happening over here. They just went ahead and got this area all prepped here so that they can go ahead and get the house construction started to be built. We're just coming up on November. It is the very end of October right now when I'm filming this, so hopefully they're going to get this constructed before we start getting any snow on the ground. Seems like it's been a little bit warmer this year than in previous years, so we should be good on that front. But yeah, I cannot wait to start to see where the pond is going to be constructed to. Right here where all this grass is that is not mowed down, that's the location of the pond, and that is going to be used. We're going to take all the sand off the top of that. That's going to be used around the house mostly, as well as for fill along this driveway. We need a lot of fill in there to bring that up to grade, as well as the clay beneath that sand. We want this pond to be like 25 feet deep, so nice and deep for, I want to put some bass, maybe some bluegill in there, maybe a couple of catfish in the bottom of it. But Jessica, you know, she really doesn't like frogs, so I think some largemouth bass will take care of that problem. And the clay from the bottom of this pond will be used for fill all the way around the outside of this house where there's going to be a lot of grass planted. That kind of ribbon line back there, you can see that we have mapped out little weed row too. Should be the back of where we want to plant the grass, so kind of angled from up there towards the back of the pond. Nice large yard. We're going to go ahead and plant trees all over the backyard. But this house is only going to be about 2 feet down right now, 2 feet below the current grade that it's on, down to clay, and then there's going to be a lot of fill all the way around it. So another reason why we went ahead and dug this pond. It's going to save us a lot of money on fill dirt, and the clay can all be used underneath where we're going to be planting grass to kind of grade out the house nice and level around the whole area and create ourselves a nice yard. So that's the plan. You can tell how wet it is here. We definitely don't want to be digging the basement too much lower than the current grade, so that's why we're just pretty much going down that 2 feet and putting it right on clay, and that'll be where the house is sitting. So went ahead, like I said, got this all staked out here. Can't wait to see them actually dig this. They're actually supposed to be digging this tomorrow, so I will probably come back out here maybe when they have already started digging. Maybe I'll be able to film a little bit of that dirt moving. And then after they get this dug out for the footings, like I said, the next day or two after this is dug out, they will be going ahead and pouring those footings. So try to get back out here again on that day and try to film a little bit of that action. But yeah, super exciting time in our lives. Can't wait for our house to be constructed, and this is the very first step. So we're getting there. I'm actually going to head back to the car right now, throw the drone up in the air real quick, get a few of those aerial views that you know I love to do, and document a little bit more of what this looks like. Like I said, kept my promise that I wasn't going to post any videos until we actually had some ground moving here, some earth moving, and now that has finally started. I'll probably release 2 videos that I filmed at the same time. I did film some of when my dad was out here helping me cut a lot of this brush. There's a lot of weeds that were out here growing, and I kind of wanted those all knocked down so that they weren't in view of the trail cameras. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead, throw that drone up in the air now. Jumping into the drone video now. This is that driveway that's going to be coming from our future pole barn. Not going to be constructing that right away. We're just going to get the house built, and next couple years down the road we'll probably work on building the pole barn. Shot over here with the drone though, kind of swung around. You can see all the water right over here. This was always a low spot in this farm field. They had a little drainage ditch there that runs into that woods. You can see where we have all of these flags located though. Jessica and I were out there, and that's the sole purpose that we were really out there for, was flagging this so that we were showing where the exact location of the house would be. And another great shot showing where all of that topsoil was stripped off from, and a lot more water back there, but you can see that back ribbon line, that bright orange line is where the back, where we plan on planting grass back up to, and that'll be the back of our yard. I did run back out here the next day, and they were going ahead and installing the gravity drain. I will probably include a little bit of that video right after this drone video showing some of that. But there was a ton of progress in a very short period of time, so I will be probably dropping quite a few videos right behind one another. Again, another shot of that back ribbon showing how that's angled back towards the back corner of the pond. And that weed row is actually at a different angle, so that's when I threw the drone up in the air and I noticed that the back of the grass we did not want to be lined up with where that weed row was that I had left. So went ahead and restaked it with the orange ribbon. I'm gaining altitude a little bit further. Gonna go up to 400 feet and see what things look like from all the way up there. Wish I could go a little bit higher, but 400 feet is the legal limit that I'm able to fly the drone to. Can definitely see where the outline of the pond is though. Looks like there's been quite a few trails made through it, probably by some deer, rabbits. I've also noticed there's a ton of coyotes on the property. Kind of cool actually having the trail camera out there though and picking up all the different wildlife that is in the area. Then I back up a little bit further and get a nice shot of where the driveway will be coming in. So driveway will be coming in right here where that bulldozer is, and over there on the right hand side where all that water is, you can see again where they have stripped off all those stumps. This is closer to ground level with the drone. They have this giant water hole over here on the right hand side. Looked more like a little frog pond, so that's where we said to go ahead and dump all of these stumps that were stripped off of this driveway and just go ahead and fill in that hole. A lot of the water backed up out of that hole though into this low spot in the middle of the driveway. That's why we said we will need a ton of fill in this area. Going to have to bring over a lot of sand from the pond to bring that up to grade, and then gradually grade that up to the house as well. So I'm going to go ahead, keep flying over this way a little bit further. I was really just trying to line up where the flags were and make sure those are in the correct location to the correct angle of the pond. Definitely pretty tedious work. There's no going back once these footings are poured, and we definitely wanted to make sure that they were at the correct angle so that when we were looking at the back porch or out our master bedroom window, we were able to look back into the nice woods area or over into the pond area. So that's kind of why we're really focused on just getting everything perfect. Probably up at 100 feet in altitude with the drone now. Some nice looking fall colors on that maple tree. I've noticed that there hasn't been a ton of maples on the property. Most are a lot of dead ash trees and living cherry trees. A couple oaks mixed in as well. Next year though, Jessica and I will be planting a ton of maple trees as they are one of her favorites for the awesome red fall colors that appear from our sugar maples. Back out at our property, it is the very next day. You can see a lot more progress happening. So this area here where they were going ahead, and I thought they were going to go ahead and fill this in with sand up this driveway. They did go ahead and do that, so that's what they're working on right now. Just bringing in a few loads of sand, and then after this is in here and compacted, they're going to go ahead and put a little bit of gravel on top of this. I was pretty surprised though at just how much the ground has dried up from yesterday. We finally got a break in that rain. Shouldn't rain all week long, but you never know what the weather is going to do. But this ditch over here had quite a bit of water in it yesterday, and like I said, that's getting pretty dry now. Also, there was a lot of water over there yesterday, and that's dried up a little bit more now. You can see the guys from Finney Trucking out here working right now. So what they're doing right now is going ahead and installing the gravity drain back there towards the ditch. After they go ahead and finish that up, then they're going to go ahead and dig the footings, dig the foundation pretty much around the outside of where we have flagged. So right here where all these flags are located will be where the foundation is going to be for the house. Pond again is out there. So after the foundation and the footings are set up, they go ahead, insulate those, tar those. Probably going to take 2 weeks to a month with our freezing temperatures to be able to go ahead and start hauling in the fill from the pond over there. So we're going to use the sand out of there as well as the clay around the house for fill, like I said. But this footings and the foundation has to be set up before they go ahead and backfill that. So like I said, gravity drain is going to come from this side. Sump's going to be right here in the corner of the house. And right now they are installing both the gravity drain as well as the sump. So I think we got a 2-inch and a 4-inch line down here. So you can see the 4-inch line down here. Lots of water again up here. I'll probably walk over here to the ditch and just see how much this falls. But they go ahead and they do this first, because once they go ahead and dig the foundation walls where that hole is going to be, that could fill up with water if we get a lot of rain here. You can see the water table in here is already starting to fill in. So they get this pipe laid in here first. So if that starts to fill in up in there, it can go ahead and drain back down here towards the drainage ditch. So it looks like pretty much all of this in this area is all clay. And finally, just where they're getting to up in here, they finally started to hit a little bit of that sand. This ribbon here will be the back area of where the grass is going to angle back towards that corner of the pond. And then again, back down here will be where this is going to gravity drain as well as sump drain into the ditch. So I'll keep walking this way. After I'm done here, I'll probably throw the drone up in the air real quick, get a few of those shots, but it is really, really cold out here today. Definitely freezing. And then tomorrow, I will probably stop back by here again real quick and show you guys the hole where the foundation actually is. So here you go, you can see the gravity drain and the sump drain. So both those pipes in there, and he went ahead and actually lined this directly up with this tree. So see one of my trail cameras on there taking time-lapse video. So as long as we go ahead and leave these trees in this location, we'll always know where these pipes are coming out. But it looks like they extended them plenty out into the ditch as well, so that we'll never have to go searching for them in the brush to try to find where those pipes come out. And then straight back that way will be directly to the sump, the crock in that corner of the house. So I'll probably go ahead and, like I said, I'm gonna go throw that drone up in the air right now, get a few of those aerial videos of where this line is, just for maybe my future reference, so that we always know where these lines are. You know, if the farmer goes ahead and tiles this area out here at all, it's a good idea to know where these are so that he never runs into them, as well as when we do future construction projects, that we do not end up digging up these pipes or driving any heavy equipment over them. Jumping back to the drone video now, can definitely see where that gravity line is coming in, and when I say sump line, that means sub pump line. The sub pump will be connected to that smaller 2-inch line, and the gravity line is exactly what it says. It drains from the crock with the flow of gravity just down into that ditch without needing a pump on it to pump it out. So pretty much the sub pump is just a backup feature that if the gravity drain ever does fail, or that water table in that ditch gets too high that it isn't able to free flow down to it, the sub pump will kick in and then go ahead and override kind of that gravity drain and be able to pump that water out of there just as a backup. So another great shot showing the new driveway that they put in, a lot of that sand, and where they had dug out the ditch where all that water was getting kind of trapped in there in that corner and draining out very nicely. I'm going to go over here behind the excavator and get a straight shot down to where that gravity drain runs though. You can see it is lined up very well with that tree there at the end. You can see the corner of the house right behind the backtrack on the excavator as well. Pretty cool seeing 3 generations though. Finney Trucking, we had the dad in the excavator operating right now, Justin Finney down in the hole, and then the 3rd generation was there a little bit earlier in the day too, but not there in this picture right now. Pretty cool seeing a 3-generation family-owned company, owned and ran by Finney Trucking. So again, they know how to work with each other pretty well, feel pretty comfortable working with this father and son duo. And Justin is just going ahead, was dropping down those 4-inch gravity drain tiles yet. And this is my shot from back at the very end of the line, just kind of panning up towards the top so that I can keep track of where this line is in the future and about how deep it is. Looks like it's down pretty much just underneath the clay layer for the most part, and then right up here where they had stopped stripping off the topsoil, it looks like it actually does turn into sand in that area. I think they said that there was about 4 foot of fall from the house all the way out to the ditch with this gravity drain, so that should do us pretty well. At the time that I'm doing this voiceover, they're actually going to be pouring our walls for our house soon, and the footings have already been poured and set up, so very cool. A lot of new updates that I'm going to be doing, so make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't yet, make sure you click the like button on this video. It definitely helps out a ton. And if you have any questions or comments or even suggestions, make sure you leave those down below. Again though, kind of just flying up the new driveway when they were going ahead and installing a little bit more of the sand. And this is where the future pole barn will go. Exactly in the old location that the old farm barn used to stand right here behind where my truck is located. Thanks for watching, and make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Also make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next videos I will be posting, and leave your questions, comments, and suggestions below.